Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. All right. Well, this is part two of me decoding this popular finance book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and we're going to decode them through the lens of Bazi. So, if you missed chapter one, I'll put the link up for you. Right. So, let me just share my screen so that you don't have to just keep seeing my face. Okay, so there we go. All right, chapter two, lust, luck, and risk. Okay, so as I mentioned in the first video, as a Bazi practitioner whose primary focus is business and career, they always get this question: do I have business luck? Will I succeed if I start my own business? Do I have investment luck? Right? The underlying question behind all this, we know, is will there ever come a time where everything will miraculously go my way without me having to do anything for it? Or will there come a time where things fall into place magically without me making a single change to myself or my activities? In other words, tell me I have dumb luck. Okay. Now, I wouldn't deny the fact that some people really do have dumb luck. But for every success story you hear involving dumb luck, you're not seeing the many failures that surround that success, which is the crux of chapter two, luck and risk. But before I get totally carried away, let me first introduce myself. Okay. Okay. Thanks for dropping by. My name is Pauline Cheng. I'm a Bazi and Feng Shui practitioner. Before I became one, I was formerly a communications professional. I was a writer, content creator, social media marketer, right? And right before I retired to run my own thing, I was a live broadcast producer specializing in motorsports. So I had a very unique job. Okay. How did I get sucked into this new job? My 八字 lo. So as a 八字 and feng shui practitioner, my natural modus operandi is that of a wealth structure. So we're typically problem focused, issue focused. So if you book an appointment with me, your job as my client is to give me a topic to focus on. Without a focus, all I see is a jumble of characters like what? What do you want to know? What do you need to know? What kind of info do you need? Right. But with a topic to focus on, the answers come very naturally. And the strength of the wealth structure, any structure, is our ability to create clear, precise, and actionable plans. So expect homework, right? And if in the course of watching this video, you're thinking, perhaps I should have a brainstorming session with Pauline. Well, my booking link is in the video description. Okay, so let's come back to the psychology of money by Morgan Housel. So this is we're going to chapter two, luck and risk. Definitely a question that a Bazi practitioner has to answer very frequently. But beyond decoding dumb luck in your Bazi chart, the real question that we seek to answer when doing a, a consult for business or investing is how does this chart handle risk? So let's start by looking at key excerpts from chapter two. Okay, luck and risk are siblings. They're both the reality that every outcome in life is guided by forces other than individual effort. We can't anticipate everything. It's true. A doctor cannot guarantee that they will heal you. A lawyer cannot guarantee that they will win your case. Even your mechanic cannot guarantee that they can always fix your car. A 八字 feng shui practitioner also cannot guarantee that if you do something, confirm you will succeed because the world is too complex to allow 100% of our actions to dictate 100% of our outcomes. Same as in feng shui. If we activate your nobleman sector, you need to do something to connect with the nobleman too. You need to network too. If we activate it and then we sit at home and do, nothing's gonna happen. Okay, so someone else's failure, often this is our thinking. This is normal for humans, yeah. Someone else's failure is caused by bad decisions. Yeah, bad decisions. Our own failures, oh, bad luck. Oh, I had bad luck. Okay, this is normal, isn't it? Right? But here's the thing, not all success is due to hard work, and not all poverty is due to laziness. Sometimes there is just this missing factor of leverage. So, the key takeaway from this chapter in this book is to focus less on specific individuals and case studies and focus more on broad patterns. So, the trick when dealing with failure is this: we need to always arrange our financial life in a way that a bad investment does not wipe us out. In other words, cannot bet the house, right? Did you know that the top traders in the world only win about 40% of their trades? Yes, the media often idolizes those who risked everything on the throw of a dice and won. It makes for a great movie, but we never hear about the millions who did just that and lost. We also never ask the winners the key question: how many times did you wipe out? How many times have they gone bankrupt and built themselves up again? Okay, that part nobody wants to know. Okay, but let's talk about Duml. Okay, first and most obvious is we need to have the indirect wealth on your hour stamp. Okay, here it's found here. Okay, must, and the conditions are it must be the only indirect wealth star in the chart. It must be favorable, which means that I need to have a strong day master. Weekday masters, sorry. Hey, don't kill the messenger, okay? I didn't create all these rules, I just decode them. Right? And this indirect wealth must not be clash, harm, punish, or destroyed. You know how hard it is to meet these conditions. But for those who have it, yeah, yeah, sure. They have a tendency to enjoy windfalls regularly. They win lottery, win raffles, lucky draws. If you have this in your chart, good for you. Be grateful, okay, and contribute some back for heaven's sake, okay. And then annually, there is an auxiliary star called the fortune virtue, which talks about unexpected opportunities or sudden gains. Suddenly got lucky. So in 2024, this year, the fortune virtue is in the ox. So if you have the ox in your hour pillar, and even better if it contains your wealth star, then this year, somehow, you find yourself with a bit of the Midas touch where investments are concerned. In 2025, the fortune virtue is in the tiger. So if you have the tiger in your hour, it's time to prep. Okay. So the problem with the fortune virtue is this: success is a lousy teacher. We all know that because cannot be replicated. Okay. So it is difficult to once it comes and it goes, then that's it lah, we're done. Okay. So now, staying lucky, on the other hand, requires some work, but it's replicable and it's pretty simple. All we have to do is follow the energy of our chart. The luckiest people in the world somehow really just know how to work with the energy of their charts. Somehow. For the rest of us, a button consult wouldn't hurt. I know this is sounding like I'm selling you my consults, but really, we can decode in advance the opportunities and threats of the year, tailor our plans accordingly. The reward over risk factor will be more in our favor. So, for example, if this year brings a lot of wealth energies, which means that you are supposed to be going full throttle ahead, but you insist on keeping your foot off the pedal, then how to get results? How to stay lucky? Right? Another example, if the year brings you opportunities to widen your network, but you insist on staying at home, how would a potential nobleman meet and help you if you are not there in the first place? Right? You get my drift? Right? So, yes, this requires more work, sure. But with human action included, this is more replicable and sustainable. So, another way to achieve sustainability is to create a business or investment style that fits the natural energy of the chart. If the chart is naturally risk averse, then go for growth investing, slow and steady type. If the chart can handle risk better, then we need to remind the client, don't bet everything on a single throw of the dice, right? We'll talk more on that in chapter 3, okay, the gambling instinct. But what about handling risk? To go that To do that, we need to go back to our fundamentals, look at the five elements. So each and every one of our chart will have a dominant element. This dominant element, whatever it may be, can be either a strength or an advantage for us if we know how to play it, or it could be a weaknesses because again, following the principles of the Tai Chi, where there is strength, there will be weakness. Our job, as always, is to be aware of these and tilt our perception towards the positive. So, how do we see the dominant element? Again, we plot the chart. Okay, in the JY Mastery Academy chart, you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you look at the graph. What you're looking for is the yellow graph. The yellow graph is the natal chart's energy, and you look at where is the highest. Like in this example, Earth is the dominant energy in the chart. In some charts, the answer is super clear, and others like this are not so very clear. You have to look very carefully. If you're looking to plot the chart, the link to the free plotter is in my video description. And the important disclaimer, the terminologies I use and the Bazi charts I prefer to use in this free sharing are copyrighted materials belonging to Dr. Joyap and the JY Mastery Academy. So head on over to joyap.com if you want to learn more. Let's proceed. If water is the dominant element in your chart, it brings you the gifts of intelligence, wisdom, and risk perception. People with healthy water in their chart tend to be able to assess risk better. But on the other hand, this same element that showers you with so much intelligence and wisdom also creates an environment where you experience the curse of too much knowledge. Very good at imagining worst case scenarios. You get so smart, you think yourself out of doing something. Okay, where does all this self imagined fear come from? Emotional overload. The brain is always thinking until you yourself confused. I don't know what to do. Okay, so if water is dominant in your chart, finding strategies to manage your thoughts and emotions is the key to success. Okay. Next, if wood is dominant in your chart, the gifts of wood, plenty of drive, determination. Wood likes to grow, has a strong growth mindset, always willing to self improve. Fantastic, right? But what if you don't control it and it turns negative? Dominant wood in the chart creates a fear of losing control. Little bit OCD, little bit, okay? Or to paraphrase, there is a need for control so strong that every little thing that is different makes you feel like you're losing control. So you become too afraid to change. Okay. The next one. All right. How about if fire is dominant in your chart? Dominant fire represents someone with the ability or willingness to change. Right? It's always easier to change a chart with fire. No fire in the chart takes a bit of self work. Okay. Dominant fire in the chart is never afraid to change. They are happy to change along with the world. First adopters of technology are usually those with strong or healthy fire in their chart. But on the dark side, dominant fire can create a feeling like you are outdated, late to the game, because fire represents advancement and illumination. So, dominant fire can cause a warped perception that you are already too late. Like I don't have the latest skill set, so I can't do it. I don't know enough. That kind of scenario. And the solution, don't care lah if you're late, just join in the party, just join the bandwagon, no problem. Right? Next, dominant earth in the chart imbues the chart owner with a very solid and stable persona, very reliable, therefore easy to inspire trust. People somehow feel that they can trust you. So solid. Great gift to have, right? When I talk, people somehow just trust me and listen to me. Excellent. But on the other hand, because Earth is the only non moving element, dominant Earth in the chart can create a lack of willpower. Like, I want it, but not that badly. So, what's the solution? Well, give yourself a deadline to take action would be a good way to go about it, right? And last but not least, dominant metal in the chart. On the positive spectrum, Dominant metal are great at decision making, very decisive. People with strong metal in their chart are usually they're pretty okay with making decisions. Don't care lah. No need to think so much. Just take action. Strong metal usually also wants to win. So on the negative side, strong metal can also be quite judgmental, right? Like you put something in right, this one no good one lah, cannot one lah, no way, right? This type of feeling. Okay, so you may sometimes make decisions before you even fully consider the situation. So you don't take risks because you don't think you can win. I'll invest in a stock market, sure lose money one lah. This type of thinking, right? So the solution: don't make snap decisions. Study first. Okay. So okay, so what's the end game for this chapter? Of course, consciously train yourself to use the positive spectrum of your dominant element, but at the same time, be aware of the pitfalls that the same gifts can carry. Find strategies around it. And that concludes chapter 2 on luck and risk. I hope you found this sharing valuable, and if you did, do me a solid. All right, please give me a please like the video. If you have questions, drop it in the comments, or I could have a subscriber or two. Okay, so until I see you in the next video, you have a great day ahead. Bye.